Here's another equation where we use the k method to solve for the unknown. And this question also falls under the category of repeated terms, since we notice that 3y minus 5 appears more than once. So we start off by saying, let k equal to 3y minus 5. Our next step is to rewrite this equation in terms of k. That gives us 6 is equal to negative 4. And notice here for this term, where you had 3y minus 5, it was squared. So all squared. That means that this term would be k squared plus 11, and this bracket 3y minus 5 is replaced with k. Now the whole aim of this is to get your equation in standard quadratic format. So ideally it would be best if we can take all of our terms over to the side where the a value becomes positive. Since this negative 4k squared is negative on the right hand side, let's take it over to the left and also write the equation in the correct order. We will have positive 4k squared minus 11k plus 6 is equal to 0. This is now in standard quadratic format. Now the next step would be to factorize so that we can solve for k. But when we look at this trinomial, it is quite a complex trinomial. So I would actually advise you to use the quadratic formula. That would be a lot easier in order for you to solve for k. Remember, the quadratic formula is x is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, I know that the formula says x is equal to, but we're solving for k. So once we have these answers, we will say k is equal to. For now, we're going to substitute. Our b value is negative 11. A is 4. C is 6. All over 2a, so 2 times 4. Let's just simplify what we have first before we solve. So we've got negative times negative 11 becomes positive 11 plus or minus. Let's simplify underneath the square root. And that should give you 25. 2 times 4 in the denominator is 8. Now remember that we're actually solving for k here. So to get the first answer, we're going to use the plus. And we get k is equal to positive 2. Using the minus, we get k is equal to 3 over 4. So these are our two values for k. However, the original equation given had y as the variable. So our next step is to replace k with what we had set it equal to. Doing so, we have 3y minus 5 is equal to 2. And for the second equation, 3y minus 5 is equal to 3 over 4. So in the first equation, we can solve for y by taking the minus 5 over to the right. When it goes over, it's going to add on. We have 2 plus 5, which gives us 7. To get y alone, you're going to divide both sides by the coefficient. So dividing the left-hand side by 3 as well as the right-hand side, we end up with y is equal to 7 over 3 as our answer. In the second equation, taking the 5 over, it becomes 3 over 4 plus 5, which should give you 23 over 4. Lastly, dividing both sides by 3, that should give you y is equal to 23 over 12. So there you have it. Those are your two answers for y.